afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Taking the podium, we have Nashville SC head coach Gary Smith. We'll let Coach give an opening statement, and then we will go to the Zoom questions. As always, if you do have a question, please utilize the hand raise chat or send me a message via the chat. Coach, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, listen, good point away at the weekend. Difficult environment, but a quick turnaround, and a challenging game against a side that are on the up again. And it seems strange the way that their season's gone thus far, but what we do know is that they're a very talented group and they're in a very good run at the minute. So everyone's eyes are on Wednesday and a return back to Geodis.
Thank you, Coach. We'll start with Belair from Broadway Sports Media. Go ahead, Belair.
Thank you, Gary. First of all, is there any update on Walker or Randall Leal?
Not confirmation on either of those guys and their status for Wednesday. I can only tell you what I told you after the game, which was that these two are going to be probably last-minute decisions. They've both trained very well today, no problems. But I think, as with all injuries, you've got to look at the reaction to the work that they're doing and not just the fact that they've got through it. I'm in a very decent place mentally at the moment about their position and feel like they could well be part of the equation.
And then a quick follow-up as well. And you mentioned Goodside and Inter Miami coming up on Wednesday. These two clubs have kind of intertwined history because they came together. You were there, obviously, in that first season you played in the play-in game. Is this a special occasion for you? Is it a bit different than any other regular game?
No, just as important as the last home game. Whenever we can turn, a fixture into 3 points to add to the board, which we've been able to do on a couple of occasions recently at home, it's always a moment that we have to not only look forward to, but be ready for. Aside that, no other reason than I think Phil's done a great job. I like him personally, and I'll look forward to seeing him, but hopefully on the back of a win.
We'll transition to the floor with Ben Wright. Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, Gary, you kind of touched on Phil and the job he's done. I mean, they started out pretty rough, and they're kind of rounding into form. What have you made of their season?
Yeah, really strange. Especially when you look at the way that they play. Two terrific results to start the season and to get themselves off on a good note. But I think if you look at MLS in general, it's so easy after a defeat or two to get caught, on that flip side of that momentum and emotion. And it's every single weekend is so challenging and it's so difficult. And there's, in most cases, not a huge amount to choose between the teams. So you can quickly go from being on a really good run to going on a slide. And I'm sure it coincided with some injuries and difficulties around the team shape and having to change some stuff, I'm sure. I don't know because I haven't followed the team that closely. But what I do know right now is that, Phil's a very thoughtful guy. And if you look at the group right now, he's finding a way to get those two strikers in the team. I think that's paying dividends. Campana's obviously back to something that, we might have all expected after having an injury in the early stage of the season. He's made a couple of really good additions. Miller and the boy Dixon, Aurora in midfield, I think are wonderful additions to that group. And of course on the back of losing Grigore as well. So I think we're seeing a side that are just coming to terms with those changes, whether it's players, shape and bodies in the group, and they're now on a good run again. So they're going to be confident. It'll be a real challenge. And quite honestly, I can't remember a game, if there was one, that wasn't anything but a challenge. I know that we ended up winning that playoff game, in some style in the end at home. But they're always difficult to play against. They've got good footballers, and I'm sure they'll come with, a challenging attitude as well.
You just mentioned Campagna. Joseph Martinez, I think he has 3 in the last 2. What are you kind of expecting from that pairing, and kind of what matchup challenges does that pose?
Well, as I said, slowly but surely, with some footage that we're seeing over the last couple of games, that relationship, they both look very good footballers. You know, Joseph, of course, we have far more to look at and see than maybe Campagna, but they both look intelligent guys. You know, their main aim and focus, of course, is hitting the back of the net, and they're both good at that. But I do also think that when you've got 2 out-and-out strikers, and they've come from high levels, their intelligence, their appreciation of certain moments, you know, their awareness of where they are on the field and choices they have to make, and then, of course, the brilliance of execution really separates those forwards. I think you're seeing a pair that are starting to come together. I know Joseph scored again at the weekend, and that'll keep his mood buoyant. And maybe we'll find over time the fact that, you know, Joseph obviously has lots of qualities that we've seen in the past, but Campagna is a slightly different type of forward. He is physically in a very different place, whilst also being a good footballer. And I think that combination, if you get it right, can pay huge dividends. And I'm sure Phil's seeing that right now.
Yeah, sure. We were talking to Gary just kind of how Miami maybe started a little bit slowly, but they've kind of picked up recently. What have you seen from them recently?
Yes, I think the last 3 games, they win. I think the last 3 games, they start to do much better. They show some player this style, and they're doing well. We expect Wednesday really difficult game, like always, but we know we are really good side when we play home. The last 5 games, I think we start good. I think this is the key for us. Like if we start the first 15-20 minutes good, I think we have better a chance to win the game.
And we've seen kind of more of maybe a diamond midfield from you guys. But what have you made from that?
Yeah,
and how do you enjoy playing?
Personally, I feel great. I don't have like a special position, you know. If Gary want to me like play central defender, I need to play, you know. But I don't know yet. Like if we start in diamond, we start with 5. I don't know. And you know, this is Gary's decision. It's not my choice, but I feel comfortable like whatever shape he play.
Any more, Ben?
No, I'm good, man.
Go ahead, Blair.
Aníbal, we talked to you before the LAFC match a few weeks back, and the mood was a little different. There was an inconsistent start to the season. Your 6 matches now unbeaten. What changed, and how is the feelings in the locker room?
Yeah, good. The locker room always is good. When we win, when we lose, always we have like really good locker room. But it's better when we win, you know. It's more easy when you win. Everybody's happy. But it's very important to be like when we play home, like to be like more like aggressive, like more like focused about the work. Everybody know in that league now start to see like our shape when we play home. Maybe Miami come with different shape. I don't know, you know, but we need to be continue like the way we doing, like the way we working. Like what I say to Ben, like the first 15 minutes, the first 20 minutes is the more important for us in the last 4 games, and we need to continue like this.